This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1117, and it's the Relevant Podcast. Here in Orlando, I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, though?
And just down the road there, Antioch, Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Sorry, downtown Emily Brown.
Please keep my sigh in.
And from LA, from Social Club Misfits, it's Marty.
What's up?
We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we talk to Judah Smith. He's one of our favorite pastors and preachers. We talk about work-life balance and more. There's more to it, but that's one of the things we honed in on.
How he gets his hair the way he does.
How do you mean the way he does? It looks different every 3 months. He's got
every single time. He is like this generation's flock of seagulls to me. It always looks cool, and it shouldn't look cool. But it always looks awesome cool. He looks like a celebrity every single time.
It's always something nobody else could pull off.
Wait, it's funny because I'm always thinking about him in a beanie.
Beanie?
Well, you know what? When I first got saved, when I first started going to church, I knew about him. He was the first person I ever heard because he came to a VU conference in Miami. And I remember his hair being so wild and being like, this is like, he'll know, but it was pretty flock of seagull-ish. Now it looks different, but still, it's always crisscross. He's got like Trump-level crisscross hair going on. It's like good. It's like a good one.
He's a year ahead with his style, and I like that about him.
A year and a decade.
A year and a decade ahead. But speaking of beanies, Emily mentioned beanies. I got to be honest with y'all. So this is an audio podcast, but I'm looking at your faces. And in the grid, I keep seeing Derek in my peripheral, and he's wearing this mustard-colored beanie, kind of back a little bit. And to me, in the peripheral, it looks like you've got bleached blonde hair. Have you?
I
looks
see that
good.
too. I thought his eyebrows were bleached.
Honestly, Derek, you're looking like a hipster these days. Derek is looking like a hipster. He's got the beanie. He's got the zip up. He's got a video game chain. Yep. What are we talking about here? It makes sense to me.
Mess with me.
You are a hipster, Derek.
Hey, man, that's what I get for hanging around with propaganda for too long.
Yes, that's right. You know what good coffee is now.
Right.
Exactly. Well, moving the show along. Stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices. You're listening to Lomelli. The song is Dawn Transfer. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right. Well, this isn't a super long one, but you guys know how I feel about it. I'm in a common sense mode. If you've been listening to the pod, I think that's what this great country of ours needs. And Heinz has announced, a new product coming out in 2024, and it is essentially a pickle ketchup. It is a ketchup that has pickle flavor into it. It got me thinking, why stop there? Why not get all condiments in one sauce? Mm-hmm. I'm talking, when you go to McDonald's.
Wait. You just blew past something. Hold on. Pickle flavored ketchup.
That's right.
What could that possibly taste like? Is it green?
I don't think the color has been established, but I think the flavor is in
So
the
this
name.
is a real thing. This isn't a spoof
It's purple.
like internet meme. This is Heinz is really coming out with pickle flavored ketchup.
They always are doing like weird stuff. They remember like all those like mayo based thing. They did like
There's nothing they have very limited selection of what they can do. So you got to understand
They've had
that.
like sriracha, honey,
do you remember Cranch?
ketchup, ranch.
Cranch?
Ketchup and ranch.
They've been low key, like doing what
ketchup,
Oreo
ranch.
has done. Like if you go and like look at some Oreo deep cuts out there, you know, there's tons of weird little combos that they got.
Yeah.
They got like candy corn Oreos.
Like pumpkin spice
Yeah.
Oreos. And
Hey, but them lemon Oreos though, them lemon Oreos and them mint Oreos, they going crazy.
Oh, I did like the mint
The
Oreos.
mint
Those were good.
Oreos going stupid.
I missed the one where it was covered with vanilla. Remember the one they have in the holidays?
Yeah.
Like it was like covered in like icing. They don't do that
It's
anymore.
like every once in a while you'll run across in the wild like a pretzel M&M at the gas station. Like, why not? I'll give it a whirl. We didn't realize they're kind of experimenting these days. But here's my idea for Heinz. You know how some fast food places have the soda machine where you can mix your own and just go wild, like with a little digital screen and then you
but
go.
it all tastes the same when you're done. It all it's like
But you like, it's like, all right, I'm going to open up the root beer vertical here. I'm going to add some vanilla, some raspberry, and do a little, I'm going to do a Sprite here, and it mixes it. Listen, do the same thing for condiments. Just one. So I want ketchup, pickle, onion, and mustard all in one sauce. Just glob it right down. I think why stop at just one product here? Why not make a machine?
it's the sound effect that
That's it,
the
the sound
sound
you just
effect
made.
that threw it off, bro. I was rocking with you till you did the fart sound effect.
It's a big glob. It'll come out in glob form.
That's just.
I know what the
Yep,
clip at the end of the show is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm just telling you, Heinz, it's a free idea, and people love those soda machines. Everybody loves them.
BurgerFi's going to steal that idea.
So you want Heinz to do the freestyle soda machine thing for condiments, and you can just do your own combinations.
Yeah.
and it
Why
comes
stop?
out
My
with
point is, why stop at pickle ketchup? Just give the people what they want.
It
Give
is
us
a good way to figure out
freestyle
who is a
condiment.
psychopath and who is combining a million different condiments.
We could tell we're the murderers.
Yeah.
By the way, we could tell who's a murderer.
Just put a camera
who just
on
left
it.
prison.
Yeah.
The
Put it,
police
put it in a
just-
courtroom, like in the courtroom dining area, and let the jury
Let
peek
the
in.
jury decide.
Guilty.
Yeah, this person's
Guilty.
definitely guilty. Did you see what they did at the condiment freestyle machine? Yeah.
Yeah.
He put mustard and he mixed it with relish, and
Yeah.
so
He used the liquid cheese.
he's also going to
Yeah,
hell
yeah.
for that. Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, what do you have, Derek?
We're in a very inflationary time. Things are going crazy. How many of y'all could use some extra money?
Always, yeah. I want some extra money.
All right. Now, next question is, how many of y'all have a $2 bill I can borrow?
I have a ton of $2
I actually
bills.
have some. Yeah.
Oh, then you are rich, because the bill from 1890, if you have the $2 bill from 1890, it just sold on auction for $5,000.
What?
And if you have the $2 bill from 2003, it just sold in auction for $2,400. So,
I have a bunch.
bruh, run it up.
a lot.
I want to know how a $2 bill is worth $5,000. I don't know that.
Inflation.
But that's
got mine,
crazy.
I got all of mine appraised, and they all appraised for exactly $2.
So like an app I could put in that I could tell or is it just like
I think
2003?
you got to go to I don't know, a currency collector of some sort.
Well, if you're looking to make cash quick.
But hey, listen, I'm just putting the word out there for the relevant gang. If
Look
y'all
in your
got some
drawers.
$2 bills, it might be
I'm
time
gonna go through my
know.
stuff.
Yeah, that random bill that your grandma gave you when you were 10, the $2 bill because she thought it was
Yeah.
interesting. You still have it? Check out the date on it.
I
Maybe
think
it's
I
worth
did
it.
have one when I was a kid, but I'm honestly sure I spent it because I'm not the best at keeping money.
All right, what do you have, Marty?
By the way, I don't know why. Like when I grew up by my grandma's house, she had like a picture, like a full blown picture, and it was just $2 bills on it. So
She
now
was
I got to check
flaunting
that.
her wealth.
Yeah.
She was stunting. All right, I don't know if you guys have heard this story. This story is outrageous. So thousands of people are reportedly lining up to have a portion of their skull removed and one of Elon Musk's brain chips implanted. First off, that's the That's like the title of this article is a whole paragraph. I just want you to know that. I'm going to read that one more time. Thousands of people are reportedly lining up to have a portion of the skull removed and one of Elon Musk's brain chips implanted. I don't know if you're listening, if you are religious at all, but this is biblically, we call this biblically sketchy. All right. And so thousands of people are interested in something called Neuralink. What it's got FDA approval, believe it or not, to start on human trials. And it's a brain chip startup that hopes to implant a device that acts as a Fitbit to your skull. Really crazy thing to even, Elon is always the guy. I feel like Elon's the guy's like, AI is going to ruin us. But then he's the guy designing this, the mark of the beast over here.
And he's like, and I'm going to help it. AI is going to ruin us.
He's like, I'm going to make it worse. I'm going to make money off this. But I'm going to be totally frank with you. It doesn't surprise me knowing that one of his kids like named after a barcode. You know what I'm saying? Like this just kind of like is on brand for Elon Musk. Yeah, but like one of his kids like Alt J Delete. I don't know if you like look up his kids' names. They're pretty crazy. But basically, it would take a couple of hours to perform, and it would replace a portion of the skull that's been removed, and it literally they would cut a hole in your head and put this chip all the way down. There's literally photos of it on the FDA website. I'm still trying to figure out like what it does. Because at one point they wanted to have people who were just like disabled. They wanted those types of people to start it up. So I guess it would start making your legs work and dance in ways. But I don't know. I mean, a couple of my friends have Teslas and their batteries have broke and the whole thing is destroyed. So I mean, this is a scary thing. Imagine having your brain on 1% and then you have to charge it and stick your head into a wall. I don't know how that's going to work out, guys. But we're getting closer to end times here.
You bring up a lot of good points.
When he first announced it, it was like you could listen to music in your head. You don't need earphones. And we were like, who would do this? This is the mark of the beast. And then I'm glad you pointed out. We have since found out that the real functionality of it is that like it will help people who have been paralyzed. You know, what's paralysis? Nerves not working anymore. Yeah. So it's going to go in and repair the nerve center in your brain to give you better, sight to the blind or, help paralysis victims and things like that have movement again. And so it's just a way to help, so it's a life-changing thing. That's why people are signing up. But the question is beyond that niche, because that's not that many people. And this is a for-profit company. What else is that thing going to do? You know what I mean? If you don't have paralysis, like why would you ever do this? Oh, it's going to give you extra superhuman knowledge or functionality or whatever. It's like, this is Iron Man. This is Iron Man.
Or release like dopamine or serotonin or yeah.
Oh, dopamine centers. That's interesting.
Yeah, and also I want to tell you this. It didn't pass the first round, according to the article. It didn't pass the first round of FDA testing because it would overheat. It could overheat. So that's what we're dealing with here. Like we're still, I don't know how this would work. But if it would help somebody walk, I think that's pretty cool. Very dangerous, very scary. But yeah, it's they want to get 22,000 people by 2030 with this chip on their head. So sign up at elonmusk.com.
Elon Musk is trying to make cyberpunk a reality.
If you want to be, who's that guy? Who's that basketball player that was in that like action movie back in the day, from the Bulls? If you want to be Dennis Rodman in Demolition Man, Demolition Man, you got it right there. Your hair is gonna be white. And he's gonna put a chip right there. It's gonna go around the ear.
You're gonna wear a mustard beanie like me. I'm wearing a beanie because I actually had the surgery.
Well, see, that's what. So what was surprising me was the fact that it said that there's like thousands of people that have already kind of signed up for or like have expressed interest in it. Cause I understand that it could potentially, fix a lot of like neurological dysfunctions that you may have. But if I'm someone who is like already paralyzed, I don't know if I'm going to just like jump at the first chance to get a brain, like a chip implanted in me. Like I want to see it work on other people.
Do y'all know how many people hacked my Disney Plus account when it first came out? I do not want to be the first person to get my brain hacked.
I'm sorry I tweeted your login, okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the funny part about this also is like, can we just start where we are? Like, we haven't even got the glasses from Apple yet. Like, we start there. Like, let me see how that works first.
The early adopter is going too far.
That's Elon Musk. He does that.
So Da Vinci Code. We're talking Omega Code. We're talking end times. The pilots disappear from the plane. That's what we're dealing with here.
That'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Judah Smith joins us. You're listening to RC Drive. The song is Super Bloomer, my high school nickname. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth. Creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Well, our guests today are Judah and Chelsea Smith. They're the lead pastors of churchome in LA and Seattle, where they've been expanding what the modern church can and should look like. We spoke to them about the church's new changes and how the couple is finding a new work-life balance. Here is our conversation with Judah and Chelsea Smith.
These last few years, how have things been going for the church? And, what are maybe some new strategies that y'all have implemented in this crazy time?
We had planned to incorporate online before the pandemic. But at that point, we were still fully functional as we always had been in buildings at the same time as trying to introduce an online model. And that was great. Everyone was happy with that. And then the pandemic really, I think, forced us, but maybe to use a God word, a faith word, enabled us to finish that switch and really build church the way that we would build it if it started online, is instead of having a buildings first mentality, which is what we still had. And that was a tough switch even for us to make philosophically, in our heart, to have faith that people could actually meet Jesus, be discipled, grow in their relationship with him outside of a church building. And I think the reason we struggled with that even is because we hadn't seen church like that before. We grew up in a very traditional church. We were church friends, kids together. So when I say we, it really was a we. And youth camps, my life was changed. I met Jesus at the retreats. Building every Sunday, Sunday school were really wonderful experiences for us. And so to go and pioneer a church that would look different than the way we encountered Jesus, wow. I don't think we were prepared for the faith that would even take for us. The Bible talks about faith as the evidence of things that are not seen. So the faith required to see what hasn't been seen. And so we've just been really fighting that fight of faith for ourselves and then for our community to bring the community along that, hey, your children are going to encounter Jesus in a real way in a church kids party, and they're going to grow with him every day at a bedtime story. And your students are, and bringing people along that journey when it still hasn't yet been seen has been a fun leadership challenge. But God's been with us every step of the way. But it's been fun as we've gotten into this. I feel like we've incorporated really things that have been really meaningful. I probably should have got the exact stat for this interview, but there was a study that was done over 10 years. Bill Hybels' church actually did it. I think the name of the book is called Moves, that they published a study. I'm sure you've heard of it, or maybe not. But they did the study for 10 years, over 250,000 people, for how do people actually grow in their faith? Because it's such a mystery. I mean, I know even for me, if I could look back, I know there's beautiful moments, but how do we actually grow in faith? What actually happens? People. And one of the results of this study was absolutely shocking. And it said that there wasn't any difference in people who experience church, who go to a building, who go to church 4 times a year or 40 times a year. Their spiritual growth was actually the same, which kind of blew our mind. And we've been giving our lives to hosting weekly services, like seven on a Sunday. Like, what have we been doing with our lives? But the flip side of that was that people who have a daily practice, at least 4 days a week, were the people who really showed significant growth. And we had already had, a daily guided prayer that we, kind of encouraged some people to do. But I think that really strengthened our faith and enabled us to go all in and realize, no, people who spend time with Jesus every day is how people are going to grow. And then not just when they do that by themselves, but when they do that within the context of community. And so that's been one of our huge emphasis. And our faith is really... what's the beautiful hymn where it says, Lord, haste the day where my faith shall be sight. The cool part about when you believe for something and then you see it happen. And we've been seeing that happening, still on a smaller scale, but Judah has a friend who had a background of a very different religion, had never been in a Christian church. He's in his 40s.
He's 39 now, 38, I think. So
young guy, he's 30. And he decided to follow Jesus on Easter 2022. And since then, he has not, I don't think he's been to a church building one time.
I don't think so.
But he's done daily guided prayers almost every day. And then we do a weekly digital service. And his growth in the way that he has experienced Jesus and learned about him has been so incredible to see and to realize, okay, this can work. And not just by getting numbers, although that's been great, but to really see people encounter Jesus and meet him and grow with him, and seeing that happen multiple times over. But it's different when it's a friend, you really, it really matters.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, honestly, Emily, I think for Chelsea and I, it doesn't get much more complicated than this little story I'll tell you from this morning. This morning, I'm out in my little, we live in townhomes here. We're all on top of each other. And it's wonderful and all, but it's kind of like living. Yeah, we can almost touch our neighbors. I think you can see the neighbors through the window. That's part of their wood on their house. It's like right there, which is great. We love city living. But I was out in my yard and my neighbor's door opened, and he's got a couple dogs, and we now have a little multi-poo teacup, and we're talking, and he said, I just put in a lemon tree, so I came over, brought my dog over, we're talking, and he said, hey, I really want to follow up on our conversation. He was at church on Wednesday, and he said, I raised my hand in our church, in our tradition, if you want to receive Jesus, his free gift of forgiveness. One of the things we decided to do was have people raise their hand. Billy Sunday popularized the altar call and the Lord's Prayer and all that. So I don't think these things
he popularized the sinner's prayer.
Popularized the sinner's prayer. I said the Lord's Prayer.
Jesus kind of made it.
We'll clean that up. Don't worry.
Here, right? These quotations would be the undoing of us here. Saying Billy Sunday created the Lord's Prayer. What am I doing? All right, guy really knows his history. But my neighbor just says, I raised my hand. So today, at some point, we're gonna go unpack that. It's Tuesday, and he did it on Wednesday, and life's been pretty full since then, but he said I'm looking for a book on Jesus, bro. I just need that really explains it. And I kind of paused and I was like, wait, I wrote a book called Jesus is blank, right? He's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, it sold really well. I start doing that. I'm kidding. But that little encounter, it quite literally, Emily, it wasn't possible in our former life schedule and rhythm. I don't know how to say this, and maybe people could argue that you just make time, and that's fine. But Chelsea and I's life was so full of facilitating gatherings, events, outside the church, people just call them live events. We were so busy doing live events. It was very hard to stand with our dog next to our neighbor's dogs and talk about Jesus and life and marriage. And I know that sounds silly, and people probably would say that can't be, but literally there was a time I was doing 6 to 7 live sermons every Sunday and 2 to 3 every Wednesday in two different cities, while homeschooling our kids and trying to have a sexy marriage. It was hard. It was really hard. And the impetus behind this vision and innovation, a small percentage, is the schedule of Judah and Chelsea. But a larger percentage is the spiritual well-being of Judah and Chelsea. I think so much of the church in our country and around the world, but specifically our country, we want healthy, buoyant leaders who minister from an overflow of a loving relationship with Jesus. And if they're married, a loving relationship with their spouse. And if they have children, a loving relationship with their children. But I think sometimes we don't recognize that it's very difficult. It's funny because we're very familiar with entertainers or athletes whose schedule, you think of a baseball player, my God, they play 225 games a year, and I've got friends who used to play pro baseball here in America, and, they didn't see their kids. They were just traveling there, nonstop. I think sometimes our culture is okay with going entertainers and athletes, rock stars live that rock star life because, they're just nonstop, on tour or whatever. But if we're not careful, preaching and ministering, if the schedule really intensifies, and I know this sounds strange, if there's growth too, because the growth starts to happen, and all of a sudden you do let's do another service, another location, I just get concerned, that's all. And I'm not saying that everybody's unhealthy and everyone's not well, but sometimes these traditional approaches to church growth and church scaling, I think are really hurting the leaders and the staff and the team who are trying to uphold it. And I wonder sometimes if some of the fallout that frankly we've experienced in really painful levels is a little bit attributed, not completely, but a little bit attributed to some of the schedule we are hoping that our spiritual leaders hold. And we want them to preach to us all the time, but we want them to have a good marriage all the time and be a good parent all the time and resist temptation all the time. And that's going to be difficult if we continue the velocity in which we are doing ministry at this point, in my opinion.
Can you share, how did y'all recognize and start sort of implementing these boundaries and these changes in your schedule?
Ooh, that's such a good question.
Can I just say that implicit in all of this is a significant cost. And I think that's where a lot of this conversation begins, but it's oftentimes where it ends, if I'm really honest. And that cost it could be reputation, it could be social status, it could be, things like attendance and giving can be greatly affected if the leader, minister, communicator, preacher, teacher needs to create more rhythm and space. And so whatever Chelsea's about to say, I just hope that our reader understands, hey, it's going to cost you something. But Jesus did say, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world, but in the process lose his own soul? And I fear, Emily, that pieces of our soul are starting to break off, and we're losing the wholeness and the buoyancy that I think God designs for every leader and every person.
Yeah, counting the cost is so important, and it's different for everybody. So I don't think you can always know exactly exactly.
I'm projecting completely,
but to know that there's always a cost to boundaries and margin, and people like getting their way all the time, not being told no.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. But I think it has to start first of all with the theology and our view of God and our view of Jesus, and realizing that as pastors, we're not saviors. We are facilitators, and we get to tell the story of Jesus, and we get to lead a community and an organization. But Jesus is the one who does the saving. He's the one who does the heavy lifting. And if we really, as leaders, really, truly embrace that, then saying no and creating that margin is not easy, but it's easier. I think that's the first step. And the other thought is Hebrews talks about we have to labor to enter into rest, that it is work to gain rest. And it so often it feels counterintuitive. It's like it takes too much work to rest. So why don't I just keep doing the work and then, rest when I retire or rest later? But I love Hebrews. It says there is a promise for us, and that promise is rest. And it doesn't mean we don't work, but we work from a place of peace, from a lack of striving, knowing that Jesus has already done the big part. He's done the heavy lifting. And so we just get to be facilitators and do what he asks us to do. I know it's not a very practical answer, like count the cost. See what is your view and perspective of God? But I know for us back in our days, I won't speak to any other leader, when we were running all those services on a weekend and flying down to LA with our kids and on for midweek services. If I look back on my theology, I thought the salvation of people depended on us. It depended on us showing up, facilitating a service, running the right kind of ministry. And in this season, we've really let that go. And I'm embarrassed to look back and admit that I had that full, because I know you as a Christian leader, you're not allowed to say that, but that really was the case in probably somewhere deep in my heart. And it's been really freeing to let that go too, which is fun. Freeing is fun, right?
Right. It is fun.
I will say the one practical thing that we have done is we have moved our church from a lead pastor model to a leadership team model. This fall, a few years ago, we hired a CEO. We realized our organizational capacity was limited. We couldn't run the day-to-day anymore. It was beyond our gifting and capacity to manage a staff and figure out HR and healthcare and all those things. So we hired a CEO who has just been amazing. He's an incredibly godly, gifted man who we've just loved working with. And so this past September at our church's 30th anniversary, we actually set him in as a lead pastor alongside of us. So actually we just dropped the term lead pastor as part of the leadership team. So he's not accountable to us any longer. He's also accountable to the board. So truly we are peers along with him. And it has been incredibly freeing, that new model for us, and letting all of us function in our gifts and our strengths. And so that's been a practical thing that's been really helpful as well.
So I'm lead communicator. She's lead theologian, and David is chief executive officer.
That was Judah and Chelsea Smith. By the way, make sure you check out Judah's feature, his track on Lana Del Rey's now Grammy-nominated album. Did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? It was announced just a couple days ago that I guess Judah will get a certificate or something if she wins. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, stay tuned. Up next, it's Pumpkin Ploy or Pumpkin Joy. You're listening to 2007. Good year. Song is Cherry Sundae. Good dessert. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's Soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. Okay, it's time for a seasonal game. We want to test y'all's seasonal knowledge. So it's fall. This game is called Pumpkin Ploy or Pumpkin Joy. This is fall. Pumpkin spice is prime time right now. So what I'm going to do is I have a list here of products that are actual pumpkin spiced items for sale. And I also have a list of products that were made up, pumpkin spice products that were made up by AI. You have to determine if the product I tell you is an AI idea or an actual for sale pumpkin spice product that you can buy today. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Everybody, Emily, can you keep score since you wrote the game?
Emily, Tyler trained you well. Tyler definitely trains you well with these games.
And next week for the game, it is going to be our last episode before Thanksgiving. We are going to do a March Madness bracket on Thanksgiving side dishes, and we are going to determine
I can't wait for that.
The number one.
Good. Finally decide. Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So this is our pumpkin spice week. Next week is Thanksgiving week. All right, here we go. All right, Marty, you're up first. Here we go. Pumpkin spice pasta sauce. Is that real?
It's real. I've seen it already at Trader Joe's.
It is not real. That is not real.
They have it at pumpkin. They had the pumpkin spice sauce at Trader Joe's right now.
The degree of confidence that you said it though had me believing.
Yes. And also, it's not even Trader Joe's. It's like,
are you sure it's pumpkin
like
spice pasta sauce?
Jose, look it up. It's pumpkin spice. It's pumpkin spice. Look it up right now, guys.
We are.
It's on Amazon.
No.
It's on Amazon. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've seen this already. My wife is a freak about pumpkin spice. There's pumpkin spice, a lot of pumpkin spice.
You win.
Sauce.
You get the point.
I'm Italian. That's why I tried it. It's awful. Do not do it.
Pumpkin spice pasta sauce is a real thing, according to Marty. No.
You said pumpkin spice. It's pumpkin. Pumpkin and pumpkin spice is different because pumpkin spice has nutmeg and cinnamon and all of that stuff.
I'm looking at it right now.
Pumpkin spice pasta sauce?
Pumpkin spice pesto sauce.
Oh,
from Lord Market. Right now, deliverable.
All right, we'll give it to you.
Disgusting. Just give me half a point.
It's debatable. We'll give it to you. All right, here we go. Jesse, pumpkin spice creamer. Pumpkin spice creamer. Is that real?
Absolutely.
That is real.
And I'm going to tell you right now, it's in my coffee cup in this moment.
That's ridiculous. That is
right now.
That's ridiculous. You just gave your friend a point, Cameron.
Why? I'm going in order. 1, 2, 3. First of all, we're all friends.
I'll play it. My competitor came out. I'm sorry.
All right, here we go. Derek, pumpkin spice Oreos. Is that real or fake?
Absolutely, without a doubt. No question.
That is real. You guys all crushed the first round. Here we go. Marty, pumpkin spice artisanal cheese.
No, that can't be real.
You're correct. It's an AI idea.
Oh, God. Thank God.
Jesse, pumpkin spice candles. Pumpkin spice candles.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 1 second.
He has one. He's grabbing it right now.
Derek, pumpkin spice hummus. Is that real?
I pray to God it's not. No.
You're correct. It is not. That is an AI concoction. All right, Marty. So everybody's gotten it so far, right, Emily?
Kind of.
Here we go. We're tied. Marty, pumpkin spice salsa.
No.
You're correct. It
You
is a
sound
fake.
so scared.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah. Jesse, pumpkin spice ice cream. Pumpkin spice ice cream.
All day.
That is correct. Ben and Jerry's has one. Derek,
it's delicious.
Pumpkin spice infused olive oil.
Hell no. I'm sorry.
You're right. Goodness gracious. All right, everybody. 3 rounds in. Everybody's 100%. Here we go. Marty, pumpkin spice almonds. pumpkin spice almonds.
Yeah, for sure. They have pumpkin spice trail mix.
Good Lord, yes, that's correct. All right, Jesse, pumpkin spice soy sauce. Jesse, pumpkin spice soy sauce.
That's too far. No way, Jose.
You're correct. That's an AI invention. Derek, pumpkin spice tortilla chips. You're correct. It's AI. Goodness gracious. Everybody's 100%. Here we go. Marty, pumpkin spice tea.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Tazo has one. Jesse, pumpkin spice yogurt.
Yep.
Yes. 100% still. All right, here we go. Derek, pumpkin spice bacon.
Oh my God. No way.
That is correct. All right. Marty, here we go. Pumpkin spice beer.
Yes, for sure.
That is correct. Jesse, pumpkin spice pickles.
Nope.
Correct.
No way.
Derek, pumpkin spice quinoa. Correct. That was AI. Marty, pumpkin spice toothpaste.
I think it would be real. And probably be sold at the dollar store.
It's our
It's probably
first
fake,
miss.
though. It's not real.
That is wrong. It is a fake AI concoction.
Yeah. I feel like it would come out one day.
All right, Jesse, pumpkin spice deodorant.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing it right now.
I'm wearing it right now. It's Axe.
And it's edible.
Correct. That was AI. That was. All right, Derek, pumpkin spice syrup.
Sure.
That is correct. Marty, pumpkin spice window cleaner.
No.
That is correct.
Derek wins.
Derek was flawless. Derek was perfect.
Prophetic.
And you didn't even want to play. And look at you being the
Just
winner.
out the gate. Just took it.
Look how happy he is. He's like, I don't want to play. I'm one, though. You know how that goes.
Well, that'll do it for Pumpkin Ploy or Pumpkin Joy. Congrats, Derek. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Judah and Chelsea Smith for joining us. You can check out more of that conversation over at relevantmagazine.com. While you're at the site, make sure to sign up for our daily newsletter. We send you our top 5 trending stories right to your inbox every weekday morning. It's a great way to stay on top of the best stuff we're putting out. If you want to stay in touch with everything we're putting out, follow us on all the socials. And if you want the best reading experience and listening experience, check out Relevant Plus. It's our ad-free, unlimited content experience. You get an ad-free version of this podcast, ad-free, unlimited reading at the website, an enhanced digital magazine, and more. Plans start as low as $250 a month. We would love the support, and we think you'll like it as well. All right, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Marty.
We'll see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I want ketchup, pickle, onion, and mustard all in one sauce.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.